Hello there and welcome to this re-recording of video 105. For anyone who has been following along kind of, live-ish, the next couple of videos might be a little bit confusing because quite frankly I made a mess of the last video 105. A couple of people noticed some things that weren't quite right and I think they had a point. So I'm redoing 105. If this is the first time you have viewed 105, then hello, how do you do? Let me show you what's going to happen in this video. Basically, I'm going to be going through these things here. Initially, there was going to be 4, but actually there's just going to be 3, okay? So we are looking at store orders. It's going to be easy and there's not going to be any problems with this. The first vibe is gracefully deal with 0 orders. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. When we log in as an administrator and we look at this page, well, everything looks kind of nice. I'm happy with this. I think it looks quite cool, okay? But when we look at something like, let's see, something like order received, there are no orders that have a status of order received. But look at the page, man, showing 1 to 0 of 0. This generally just looks kind of rubbish. So I think we can do better, okay? So that's the vibe and let us begin. I'm going to start off by opening up store orders and we're on the browse thing here. We know we're on that because look at the URL, store orders / browse, okay? Now, when you look at the browse vibe, you'll see that there's a query here and it fetches the orders for this page, okay? So let me just get rid of this thing, it's annoying me. Right, so I'm going to introduce a new data variable called num_rows, okay? And that's going to represent the number of rows on this page. And that is going to equal data query loading up num rows, okay? That's the vibe. Thank you very much indeed. So now if we go to store orders browse, right, this is the browse view file, then I'm going to go just after that PayPal button there, just after that, and I'm going to do a little if statement. If num rows is less than 1, then echo there are currently no orders with this order status. You can say anything you want. Maybe you can come up with a better message. It's all cool, okay? Now, that's what happens if the rows are less than 1. Else, and what we'll do is we'll take all this stuff here and we're going to chuck this inside an else statement. Even the pagination stuff, right? So I'm just closing off that else statement here. And if we refresh the screen, you'll see that that actually looks pretty good, okay? So when we've got orders, everything's okay, and when we've not got orders, everything's now perfect, okay? Well, actually, maybe not perfect, because wouldn't it be nice if we had a subheadline here that said, order received or something like that, okay? Let's do that. I think that's going to make this page even better. So I'm going to go back to store orders, okay, and I'm going to build a little function here called underscore get order status title, okay, and I'll leave a little note here for future generations, and it's just going to say this gets called by browse and it figures out the order status title. That's all it does, okay? So how are we going to do this? Well, we need to look at the URL to figure out the order status title. Now stay cool, because we have done this before. Look, if we go to generate MySQL query, you'll see here's some code here that figures out the order status, right? It's very, very simple. So I'm going to copy that code and I'm going to paste it up here. Yes, indeed, we now know the order status. Next, I'm going to figure out the order status title now that we have the order status. Now, we've done this before. Look, we did this back on view, remember? Does any of this look familiar? Does any of this here look familiar? Okay, so if I just copy that, paste in, you can see that this is quite good. Now we've got this data variable that we don't need. Let's ditch the data thing. So it's a normal variable, ordinary variable, and have a look. Oh, my voice is gone. I'm so excited. But have a look. It is fantasticola. All we need to do to bring this back to life is to load up the order status module. This load module store order status, and behold, this is all going to be cool, and all we need to do is just return status title. So that's kind of cool. I think this is a handy little function, and it's going to make life easier. So if we now go to browse, okay, and where all those data variables are being declared, like the flash data and whatnot, I'm going to add a new one called data current status title, and it's going to equal get order status title. And then I'm going to go back to the browse file, and right underneath manage orders, I'm going to do an H2, and I'm going to echo out current order status. Okay, so if we have a look at the page now, you shall oh geez this is what happens when you go live, you know. Current status title, there we go. Sorry, I'll change this actually to current order status. Got a bit mixed up there, you know. Okay, so here we go. Look at this. Is that not fantastic? Look at the subheadline. Look at this. It's all glorious, and I think that's very cool. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to cover, and thank you very much indeed. The next thing that I want to do is set opened to 1 when opened. Again, this is very easy. You won't have any problems here. So the vibe is, when you look at all these orders, look at all those red labels, right, unopened, and when we click into one of these, we want it to be changed to opened. That's the vibe. Now, we've done this before. Do you remember inquiries? Do you remember how we had a thing on inquiries? This is the inquiries controller. It was called set to opened. I'm going to copy that from inquiries and then paste into store orders like so. And on inquiries, just to go back there for a sec, sorry, I've pasted it into inquiries. let me do that again. I'm pasting into store orders. There's actually a removal going on just now in here, and there's all sorts of activity and, you know, noise and whatnot, so I apologize for all of that, and I apologize for any mistakes and whatnot that happen. It's just not too easy, you know, when there's all things going on. Anyway, I've copied set to opened into store orders. Can you handle the vibe? I think you can. So if we look at inquiries and then go to view, do you remember on inquiries we had a vibe called set to opened, and we called that as soon as we had the update ID? Well, it's going to be exactly the same vibe on store orders view. As soon as we have that update ID, I'm going to set it to opened like so. So check this out. If we click in, okay, and then we click back out, look, it has changed to opened. I'll do it here as well, and you'll see that that's all cool. And there we go, right? Excellent. There you go. Thank you very much indeed. So that is set opens to 1. That's done. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do on this video, which is also very, very easy, is generate an auto comment upon an order status change. Don't worry if you cannot read this text. I know it's very small. This is just my own notes, you know. Normally I don't even show you guys these notes, but don't worry about it. So generate an auto comment upon an order status change. So what does that mean? Well, whenever admin goes in and changes an order status, right, where does this go? Let's have a look. I think you'll find that it goes to store orders / submit order status, right? So let me just close those tabs to the right. Submit order status. So check it out. When somebody submits an order, it goes through the stuff, then it does the update, right? Here's the update. And then it says thanks a lot and sends them away. So all we're going to do is jump in here and add in another little private function, and we'll call it something, what we call this, send auto notify. I don't know, call it anything you want. And all we need to get this working is the update ID. Okay, from the update ID, we'll be able to figure out what needs to be done. Okay, so I'll just say in a comment, notify the customer of this update. Okay, so I'm going to copy this send auto notify. I'm going to copy the vibe, heading up to the top here, and now we're going to build this thing. Okay, so what does this do? I'll do a little note here. Notifies customer when an order status has been updated. That's all it does. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying query is this get where, and we're doing that. It's all very standard. Now I'm going to say for each query, loading up result as row. Let me make the font a bit bigger for you here. Is that easier? And I'm going to say order status equals row order status. I'm going to say order ref equals row order ref, and then I'm going to say shopper ID is a row shopper ID. Okay, so we've now got some interesting information. Now I'm going to figure out what the status title is, right? So get order status title. So this load module store order status. Okay, now I suppose I could add that to the top, as is the tradition around here, something like that. And we could say status title is this store order status get status title. Okay, and we are passing in the order status. That should do the job. Okay, so now I'm gonna build a message for the customer. So the message is gonna equal order, and then we'll add in the order ref, right? Order R2D2 has just been updated, and then I'm just going to say message also equals the new status for your order is, and then I'll just say status title, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of the message. Okay, so now all we need to do is send that message to the customer. Now we're going to do that by using the inquiries module. You know that we've built an entire messaging system, right? So let's load up inquiries, and if you have a look for the insert thing here, you'll see that on the create function, this is what happens when we insert a record into inquiries. All this stuff here, right? So I'm gonna paste that in here. It's gonna look really messy, but don't worry, we'll fix that in a second. And you can see that this is going to be using site security, and it's obviously going to be using the inquiries module. So let's go back up to the top here, and we will load up those modules. So this load module inquiries, and then this load module, and the next module is going to be site security. Now actually, if we're going alphabetical these days, then we should probably do something like that. It doesn't matter too much, right? But that's the vibe. I've loaded up the modules. Thank you very much indeed. Now, can you see how this is calling a thing called fetch data from post? Let's have a look at inquiries and see what fetch data from post looks like. And here it is. Look, here it is. Okay, So subject, message, and sent to. Again, I'm going to paste that in, and it's all going to look really messy, but who cares? We now know what the variables are. Now we can basically go through all of these variables and get this thing working. Okay, so here we go. This subject is going to be order status update. Okay, that's the subject of our message that's going to be sent to the customer. The message is going to be the message variable, MSG. Okay, sent to is going to be the shopper ID. Now remember, we already have the shopper ID from the top here. It's a column that's on the store orders table. Okay, so we have the shopper ID. Next, now I don't know why it says that. I'm just gonna sort the spacing here a little bit actually. Date created is time. That's absolutely right. That's very cool. Next, sent by is 0, opened is 0, and we've got the code. So that's all of the variables. Okay, that's good. Send the message. Okay, so it's building the thing here, and we'll take out this crazy comment which is completely meaningless. And in fact, the vibe is going to be this inquiries insert. Okay, so that is, I'll bring the code down so you can see this. That is send auto notify, and there it is. Looks kind of good. Looks kind of good. So would you like to give this a try? I think we should. So let me just head to the database. I'm going to delete all from inquiries. Now you do not need to do this, right? But I'm just doing this so that you can see this thing working. Okay, so here we go. Nice fresh start. And I'm going to head into this order here, and I'm changing the status from order submitted to order received. Okay, so here we go. Submit. Everything looks good, thank you very much indeed. And now I'm going to go to the front end of the site here. Okay, and I'm going to log in as a customer. So here we go, logging in as a customer. And if we log in, you'll see that we do indeed have a new message. The subject is order status update. Everything looks good. I'm going to view this message, and it says order blah 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 has just been updated. The new status for your order is order received. Okay, not too bad. Yes, I am giving myself a clap. That's how deluded I am these days. So that's very cool. And I think that's us with this video. We've done the last thing. That is us. We have quite a lot to go through in the next video. I'll try and do this in one video. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.